featuring myself and Jamie and maybe Biscuit. Is the biscuit being consumed?
No.
Oh, it's a shambles, which gets us straight into English cricket. Um, I'll ask you about how your week is in a second once you've digested the digestive.
Well, cool. Wait. Yeah, it's
Give it a
swallowed.
couple of
It's
days.
not digested, but
Yeah,
yeah.
give it a couple of days and
Well,
we'll be back.
I'm sure
How
that's
are
how
you,
long the
Jamie?
test was. Fine.
Are you ready to talk about some England fun, some England shambles?
England fun? No, because that's not happening.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm always here for shambles.
Um, I think when originally I was thinking about us doing this pod
Mm.
this week was to talk about the test match. I feel like that's going to be about maybe two. Do you want to quickly go over the test match now?
Sure. Yeah.
Any highlights before we get into the lowlights?
Emilio Gay looked very good.
Agree.
The pitch was all over the place for the
Agree. Yep.
batsmen.
Hmm.
Good for watch, bad for the actual playing of the sport.
Yes.
All of the bowlers contributed, didn't they? Atkinson got 5 second
Yeah.
innings. Tongue and Robinson got, was it 4 each or 3 and 4 first innings?
Robinson got 5 on the first innings.
Mm.
Obviously, his return back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so all of the seamers contributed, but on that pitch,
Yeah.
like you, if you're not contributing, then
What are you doing?
yeah.
Bashir didn't bowl. Obviously, he wasn't needed. Um, but no,
So
you're
yeah,
right. I mean,
so Bashir comes back into the team and doesn't do anything.
and probably might not play the next test, which we'll get to in a second. But no, I was very impressed with Emilio Gay. I thought he played really well. There was a lot of chances. Brooke got 50 as well, dropped a couple of times. Emilio Gay probably should have been given out LBW at one point, but New Zealand didn't review, so I don't think you can really judge that. I thought he played really nicely and quite calmly. Good temperament on debut. Looked like a proper opener.
Yeah,
Good,
even in that first innings, he only scored 8, but I thought he looked really good. He had that bit of like McCullum era, I'm gonna play at every shot
yeah,
sort of thing, but on his like it's his first innings for
yeah,
England, so you can kind of let him off with
yeah,
that,
yeah.
especially when he scores 50
Yeah, I mean, he got a
second
really good
time.
ball in the first innings, to be fair. But then I think, yeah, the way he handled the situation in the second innings was just what you want to see from an opener. Um, so yeah, good stuff. Love to see it. Pitch was terrible. I think the average was a wicket every 24 balls, I think, or 25 balls across the test. I think it's the shortest test in Lord's history for many, many years. I think you have to go back a long, long time for it. Um, yeah, it was just crap. So much so they're talking about putting in drop-in pitches and stuff, and a lot of chat about why does Lords host 2 tests a year. This year it's hosting 3 with the England women test. Um, I don't know. Can you have a test somewhere where they don't host 2 tests? Because I feel like a touring team would always want to play at Lords. Is the vibe?
I mean, it depends on the number of tests per series,
Mm,
I suppose. Like if you had a 5 match series and a 3,
yeah,
England have enough grounds to cover all of that, don't they? So,
yeah,
and it would cover the entire country. You go up to Durham, down to Southampton, go into Cardiff. You can have a bit everywhere, and either just like start it off with Lords or end it at Lords to like make a
bookend
big
it.
thing of it.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I just feel there is something about Lords, because it is that so rich in history and stuff. And there's been a lot about chat about the atmosphere and stuff, and is it good for hosting so much cricket, especially white ball cricket? I don't really know. I think a lot has been made of this, but I don't think the Test matches in recent history have been that bad. I think the World Test Championship final was a good game. That started off quite similar to this one with loads of wickets, then flattened out. The India Test last year was good. That went right down to the final session of day 5. So I think there's quite a lot of just reactionary stuff to just, they got a bad pitch, and I think the one in Pakistan later in the year is probably going to be fine. That's my take. We just come back from the Ashes where there were two-day tests. So I think it's just quite the norm at the moment. So just have to get used to it. Um, did anything else happen? Robinson got 3 wickets for no runs in his first over back, which was quite a hype. Bowled very well. But I feel like anyone could probably bowl well. So the test will be to come. But a good start, a promising start to English summer. Um, and then you roll forward 12 hours. I feel like I've only sent you the stories and the snapshots. Everyone's going to know what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Atkinson and Ben Stokes were in a nightclub in Chelsea after the set curfew time, and there was an altercations with a Saracens rugby player who took a swing, I think, at Gus Atkinson, and then hit the ECB bodyguard or whoever was there watching them. That required them to get some kind of medical treatment, as far as I'm aware, or stitches, or just a blow to the face. And
Which
obviously
even
that
if
all,
you're drunk, as a professional sportsman, you want to hit your mark, really.
yeah, it's poor,
Like,
poor stuff.
yeah.
um, everyone knows the various ins and outs. What's your take?
My take is we still don't actually know the ins and outs. We've got the bullet points,
Mm,
but with all the talk accompanying if Stokes is even going to play for England again,
yeah,
whether it's his decision or the ECB's, I've not seen or heard any real like bits of information that involve Stokes himself. Like he
no,
was there, obviously,
mm,
and he was after curfew, so yeah, bad, naughty Stokes. But like in terms of the altercation, what was his part? There's got to be something more that we're not being told, which is why
yeah.
the consequences seem so drastic for him, as opposed to Gus Atkinson, who's also there, and I've not heard anything about him not being available for the next
So
test match.
fast forward. So we're quite. I think we did the good thing by recording today because everyone jumped the gun to record yesterday, but we have all the facts now for the squad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Atkinson has also been dropped
Oh, cool.
from the squad. So neither Stokes or Atkinson are available. I'm pretty sure for the rest of this series. Um, but yeah, you're right. We don't know what necessarily if there's anything that Stokes did other than just be there too late. The main facts that we have is that this Saracens rugby player took a swing and had a scuffle, didn't hit Atkinson but hit the ECB person who was watching them. Um, all we get from the ECB is that Atkinson and Stokes, the words they use aren't the aggressors, which to me says that they're not the aggressors. But was there anything back, or is it just that one punch that went flying because it was drink all drunk and stuff? Don't know. The main fundamental fact is that there is a curfew, and it took 4 days into this test summer for an England player to break it. Not just any England player, the captain to break it, which is fundamentally bad.
Yeah,
I think that's
especially when you go back to the Ashes, which we touched on
yeah,
last week, where Stokes was apparently vehemently against people going out and wanting to take the cricket seriously,
yeah,
who then goes on a bit of a bender after one test with New Zealand,
yeah,
kind of implying take it seriously in the Ashes, but everything else is fair game. Who cares? It's
yeah,
only the first test against New Zealand. It's
yeah.
not a worry, but
It's just there's so many factors. These things don't matter at all. But the fact of the matter is, the game finished at 12:45. It hadn't finished before lunch, so they were obviously drinking for 12 hours or celebrating up till that point to then be out after their curfew time, which was midnight. Um, and they haven't even won the series. They've won one game. I don't. I'm like, I don't really understand. There's so much again backlash and opinions and stuff flying around, and like I have zero interest or care or am I bothered about anyone celebrating a win. And I think you should be celebrating a win. It's a sport, and I think it's quite a crickety thing to do that a team will share drinks and stuff in the dressing room or go out and stuff. But that's fine. You can do those drinks, but because of their stupid actions, they've lost the privileges to be able to go out late or go to a bar or go to a club because they were idiots across the winter. I don't understand how you can get to a point where it's 4 days into the test summer and the captain is thinking, "Oh, I'll be fine. I'll go out. I'll forget everything that's happened before. We'll go out to a club." I don't understand. It's maybe he was too drunk to know, but then there was an ECB person with them, so were they just to be like, we'll go with you, but we won't mention anything? Why was no one tapping on the shoulder, being like, "Oi Ben, maybe just be back before 12, or maybe we should head off now"? I don't understand how it gets gets to this. It just boggles my mind. I don't know if that was a point, but I'm just boggled.
Yeah. I assume it gets to this point via, I mean, alcoholism,
Wow, yeah,
um, a pervasive sort of like, what's the word? Like this is happening for so long.
mm,
It's that it's just a part of England's cricketing culture
yeah,
at the highest level. I assume because there's like I, it is just like guessing, but like I would assume Rob Key's era of cricketers also did this kind of thing. Like we saw Freddie have
yeah,
a bit much to drink on an Ashes
yeah, yeah.
parade,
Oh,
so
100%. Yeah, ingrained, I would
we've
say,
got
into the
like
culture.
objective proof that England cricketers like a drink after a
Yeah,
Test match or a Test
yeah.
series win.
hmm
So
Which I think is fine, but they then have to be aware that because they've been absolute idiots over the last 6, 7 months, that they have to do that in what's the word? But they have to. They then have now to be careful because they've now had this curfew put upon them because they've been idiots before. I just is there? Can you come back from that? That you've now they've when they were obviously after the Ashes. Heard Mark Butcher talk about this earlier. In that their jobs were so very much on the line, and they could have all, Stokes, McCullum, Key could have all lost their jobs. And as part of this, it's being like, oh, you have to make sure everything's all squeaky clean. There will be this curfew, which you all have to agree to. Otherwise, no worries, see you later. And then it's got to this: can you come back from that as a player or a captain? Should he come back from that?
I
Because
don't.
it's stupid.
It's
It's
yeah.
embarrassing that it's a curfew for adults, but they've agreed to that and they've broken it immediately. So then, what's the point of the curfew?
I would also say I don't. If we're questioning if Stokes can come back from that,
Hmm.
then we have to question if McCullum can come back from it, and we have to
Yeah, hundred
question
percent,
if Rob Key can come back from it,
100%.
because it undermines their authority if the captain of the team is
Yep,
going out and doing that and just being like, yeah, fuck you.
yep.
It,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why we don't have a Stoke decision yet. I feel like the talk was, again, I'm going to paraphrase because everyone knows mostly already, but they had like crisis meetings today or something. So Stokes would have spoken to his people. They would have. The major big talk yesterday was that Stokes is going to stand down and then also retire from cricket. It sounds like they tried to pull him back from the ledge a bit, mainly because I feel like if he did that, I think McCullum and Key then also have to go because it's a showcase of the wider issue amongst this team and this setup that the captain, someone who's like that with McCullum apparently, is going to break something that's been put in place because of the idiot actions of his team beforehand. And we're all, like I said, we're talking about how Stokes probably had credit in the bank for the Ashes and I think mentioned that he didn't really drink last year in preparation for the Ashes and stuff. And for that to then be broken like that is such a huge breaking of trust. And it's such a stupid thing, like a curfew for an adult being out just after midnight. But like,
and not just you say adult. An adult can just mean 20-year-old
he's
that's still
35.
exactly. He's got an actual family that like
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, they finished at 12:45. Have a
hmm
drink, then with your teammates
Yeah.
and the opposition, then go back and have the rest of the day with your family. And
100%.
like, how many opportunities are you going to have that a test match finishes so early that you
Yeah.
can then drive back home, like pick your kids up from school and
Yeah.
have like a proper dinner with them
Yeah.
on like a what was it, a Monday evening? I can't remember. It's
It finished on a Sunday, so it was day
uh,
4 of the test. So they didn't even get to day 5. Um, it's
it's just a bit sigh, isn't it?
yeah, it's would I mean we're all in the hypotheticals and don't know the full story, blah blah blah. But the fact of the matter is, he missed a curfew that was set upon them. Would you say that's curtains for him being captain?
I would say after the Ashes, if we were treating that as a like full stop and don't fucking do it again kind of thing,
Yeah.
if this was Harry Brook, I would have put him out of the team at least for this series.
Yeah.
It's then whether you think like if just because Stokes is the captain, should his punishment be worse, or should his punishment be the same because he shouldn't be treated any worse or different just because he's the captain? I don't think he should play the rest of the series. I don't think Atkinson should play the rest of this series, at least.
Well, yeah. So the breaking news of today is that they will both. Well, definitely Stokes will not play any more games this series.
So
Will come.
that's great. I don't know any of this breaking news, so I'm just
So I
I'm
think I
getting
sent you earlier.
validated on my
So
opinions. This is
yeah.
great.
So the squad for the second test was released. In that, Root will be interim captain for the rest of the series, which I think is quite a fun, exciting thing, which we can get to the second. Because obviously they can't give it to Harry Brook, considering what he did in New Zealand over the winter. And again, I've seen reactions of people being like, "But Harry Brook was the vice captain. It would have been interesting if Stokes had got injured. What would they have done then? Then Brook would have been captain. How could you give Brook the captaincy on this circumstance? It's just like people are interesting, aren't they? So it's just boggling. So Root is going to be captain. Stokes will miss the rest of the series. And again, yesterday there was a lot of talk and a lot of kind of reputable journalists saying he's going to retire. And again, I feel as though certain people will try to drag him back to be like, don't make a rash decision. They'll suspend him for a couple of games, and then after the series, they can then see where they go from there.
But then also, like you said, if that's McCullum and Key dragging him back,
Yeah,
they're not doing that with the
no,
best interest of England in mind. They're obviously doing that with the
in
best
their mind.
interests of themselves.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
Stokes goes, they have to go.
It's
They're kind
it's
of
yeah,
all married together in
yeah.
this cesspool of a shit show that is England cricket.
It's almost like they should have just got rid of them after the Ashes and started afresh.
Yeah.
Maybe that was probably the thing they should have done when there's so much baggage that has come from even before this. Like so many instances across Australia, New Zealand, that this is so embedded in the culture of the team. Surely you need someone to come in and completely reset it. And that's maybe not going to be favourable to some of the players, but at the same time, it's they've lost the privilege of doing it in a fun way. Like I just can't believe it. Like Stokes of all people has been this stupid in this scenario when he's captain. But maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a lot of I don't knows, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a shit kind of situation, and you don't want to fucking have to think about it too much.
Yeah.
But I will
Um,
say, I think
mm.
Root is the right decision as
Yeah, we'll talk about
interim
route. That's
captain.
kind of the
Because,
positiveness.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you don't want to throw in, let's say they did sack Stokes or he retired or whatever, and they
Hmm.
need a captain for this second test. It would
Yeah.
have been whoever they chose as the captain would have been a horrible situation for them to be
Yeah.
put in,
Hmm.
unless you've done that before and you've possibly grown as a leader and a player
Yeah.
and a dressing room presence,
Yeah.
a la Joe Root. So
Yeah.
as interim, great, great call. Because if you just
It's
like throw in Harry Brook, who had the
yeah.
Noosa stuff,
Of course you
and
couldn't. No.
like
It's
even if he
yeah.
hadn't had that, I think it would have been a really difficult position for him to be put in. Like let's just say, I was going to say Ben Duckett, but he also had
Yeah.
previous.
You go through
Let's
the
just
team and it's a
say,
struggle.
let's just say Josh Tongue. He seems like
Josh
a
Tongue
good
was
lad.
also out and with Brooke
Cool.
and Bethel, and
Uh,
he was
let's
cleared of
say
any wrongdoing, but he was out. Sorry.
I was going to say Ollie Robinson, but he's
Nope.
had his.
It's Bashir, I think.
It's Bashir and it's probably Root as well.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I kind of think I'm leaning towards permanent captaincy. Joe Root's the favourite anyway.
So
If it goes that way.
I think the term interim is the key. I don't think Root would take it full term. I think this is him being like, because he loves playing for England and loves England. I feel like I would do this for the team.
Mhm.
I can't see him going back to that at all. I think after this series, after this is all kind of washed away, I think Brooke will then come back in as captain. I think that will happen. But I feel like this is a way to just slowly get to that change, because
Yeah,
their ideal scenario was going to be Stokes would go to the Ashes next year and then Brooke would take over after he's had a year of learning. Um,
like I agree that's definitely what the plan is,
yeah,
but I would just argue that's not necessarily the right plan because Brooke is still not ready even after one series. If they were planning to have Stokes for the next Ashes,
yeah,
then he would have been captain, presumably, for that Ashes,
yeah, yeah,
which, again, presumably, Brooke would not be captain for, implying he's not ready for the captaincy until
yeah,
Stokes leaves during that year and a half, whatever time period it is. So if he's still not ready now,
yeah.
like even if Root's only captain for a year and a half, 2 years, so that Brooke can have that time to like get a bit of leadership about him and mature a bit and just grow as a player.
Potentially,
Like who
I
else
yeah.
other than Jofra Archer?
Dare I say? I think I said to you earlier. It's sensible. It's a surprisingly sensible choice. I mean, maybe it was the only choice, but I think I only saw Matt Pryor mention it earlier. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's going to be Brooke next week," and then obviously you mentioned it and when it was announced. But I feel like yeah, you were ready for your spicy take. Um,
Yeah, I was really upset when you sent me that because I I've not seen what Matt Pryor has said because why would I?
No, of course. But it's I think it's kind of it's damage limitation as well. It's kind of like good for the fans because everyone loves and respects Root and things like that. It's not a controversial take. It's someone who's going to do the best for the team. Um, it's the best choice you could make. Um, but I just can't believe we're in this scenario.
Mm.
Had four. Say we've had 4 days of cricket. We've probably had like two and a half, like with all the rain. Um, but yeah, I mean, the facts as they are, just quickly back to Stokes, see if we can try and come up with these hypotheticals. Do you think, because again, I think there's been reports saying differently, because it's Ben Stokes, should he be treated differently because it's Ben Stokes? Because been a once in a generation cricketer, or would you still say throw the book at him because he's broken curfew and you shouldn't be breaking curfew?
I think the punishment should be heavier because of what happened last December,
Yeah,
January Ashes time. It shouldn't matter about the name of the player. It should
yeah,
happen if your name is Ben Stokes or Emilio Gay or James
yeah,
Smith or Joe
yeah,
Root or whatever. I think the level of punishment is possibly determined by the leadership rank.
yeah,
So because he's captain, maybe the punishment is even more harsh because you
yeah,
should be a person of authority. You should be setting the tone.
yeah. You can't then come back into the team as captain and then expect everyone else to
Yeah.
follow the curfew, can you? That's the thing.
Yeah. So I think, like, just talking this through, I think he should be stripped of the captaincy.
Yeah, I can't see him being captain again.
And if he's like very hot-headedly or not without it's been a couple of days, right?
Mm,
Like
yeah,
he's not had that much time to think about it. But if his instinct is I'm going to retire
yeah,
and he's being talked back, I would imagine it's going to come back down a bit to Stokes is no longer England captain.
yeah. So and
And
but
like that just leaves Joe Root as a long-term interim captain or something spicy.
something spicy. Joffre.
Yeah.
I did a quick poll with our fans. Um, because obviously stripped of captaincy is different from obviously retiring, not playing. So I asked our fans, um, should in the wake of all of this, should Stokes stay or should Stokes go? We had 45 votes,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then 76% of people said Stokes should stay, with only 24% saying he should go. Would you have him back as a player?
Maybe
It's difficult because
it is.
I really would hate that this would be how his kind of whole story would end. because it's so pathetic. And he's
But
not
that
been
like,
that player. But then it's also his own doing and it's his own making. It feels extreme, but he should know better.
and I
That's
feel like bigger England legends have had worse send-offs.
yeah.
Like Peterson didn't really leave the England squad in a like cloud of
Well,
gold and
he was
fairies and
absolutely sacked.
everything. Yeah. Like you even like, it's the Batman quote about
Yeah.
villain. I can't remember what the quote is because I'm shit with quotes.
Live long enough to see yourself become the villain,
So
or
yeah, something
something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
That's the kind of thing
Yeah.
someone would post on Facebook.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I mean, I'll go back to the boring point I kept making over the podcast in that I was sure he was going to retire after the Ashes because I just felt a vibe that he was kind of ready and done because he's gone through so much mental health wise, injury wise, the public scrutiny he gets as obviously being England captain, also Ben Stokes. I thought he'd be done with it, so I was surprised that he's carrying on. But then to have this whole thing blow up and his first reaction being like, "I want to retire," is kind of to me telling me like, I feel like you're already half out the door.
mhm.
And obviously his batting has waned recently. His bowling's still pretty decent, but I think he got 150 or maybe two over the last year. He's gone down to seven from six, so he's obviously at the decline anyway. So I don't know whether he's sort of thinking, is this worth it?
Mhm.
You know, I've seen other people mention that maybe they didn't realise that the curfew would apply because the match had finished because they were in England and not on tour. But I think that's also letting them off the hook a bit because
Mhm.
they should be aware when the curfew is, especially if you're captain. People saying, oh, it was his birthday on the first day of the test. Maybe this is a late birthday celebration. Doesn't matter. You're centrally contracted of England. You've been celebrating this win for 12 hours. Like, I think, as much as I don't like it, I think I am more leaning towards a team without Ben Stokes,
Mhm.
which I think is crap. And I would prefer a team with Ben Stokes, but I just feel like we're probably at that stage. Um, but we will react to it when we know, because we don't know now. Is that the end of Gus Atkinson? That's our favourite.
Um,
No, I'd say.
I would say it's less of the end for Gus Atkinson than it is Stokes because I feel like people will forget
Forget he's there.
Atkinson's. Yeah, he'll just
Even though in all this story, like you said, there's been nothing related to what Stokes actually did there. It's all been Atkinson related. So
and even then, it's just someone threw and missed a punch at
yeah,
Atkinson.
yeah,
I've not heard anything more about his involvement.
no, yeah, it's just bizarre. I mean, I'll go back to point. I just don't understand how the ECB can employ someone to look after people going out to a club, and then also try and wash their hands of the affair, which goes to the whole kind of McCullum Key thing. Like, how can you have someone there and they're watching them, and then you must know that they're breaking curfew because they're with them. And if there hadn't been an incident, this is going to be brushed under the carpet, wouldn't it? No one would mention it. So
Mhm.
I think the culture should change. Um, but yeah, Roots captain, which is nice. um, we'll talk. I'll quickly mention the team because let's try and move on because we don't have any more information, obviously, that we know of with this fun scenario. Do you want the squad?
Yeah, all right.
I'll find it for you. Where's it gone? So obviously the main thing to start off is root captain. Couple of names back. It's mostly the same squad, obviously without Stokes and Atkinson. But they have brought in Joffre and they have brought in Jordan Cox. So you've still got James Rue in there, Rayan Ahmed, Matt Fisher as the players who didn't play in the first game, and Sonny Baker. What do you think they go with for the makeup of the team the next time? So no Stokes, who's always been that kind of pivotal all-rounder role. Is it simply would you go Rayan Ahmed in at seven as the all-rounder and you take Bashir out and put Seema in? Obviously Archer comes in for Atkinson, or do you keep Bashir in? Do you play someone like James Rue and then have Root and Bethel as the spinners?
thing is, I kind of feel bad for Bashir,
I know, I feel bad for Michelle.
seeing
It's
as he
like
didn't
I
play
haven't done
any
anything, and
Ashes.
now I'm going
Yeah,
to get dropped.
yeah. Like he didn't play any Ashes games, and he's the first game back. He doesn't get to bowl an over. So, while I think the right decision would be to put Rian in as
Yeah,
number 7 and like another seamer, I think that would be a really good bowling attack.
yeah.
I would give Bashir at least one more game just to like give him some minutes.
I know.
It's been so unfair on him. I
I
don't
know.
think he's good enough. He might get there, but just the way been treated, has been a bit shit. So I'd give him another game just out of like sentimentality and
Yeah. If it spun, if it had been really hot recently, I'd be like, oh, I'll just do 2 spins for Bants. But I think it's 99% likely that Bashir is going to be one of the drops.
yeah. And like
Um,
he's still gonna be England's second spinner,
yeah,
and like they Rian and Bashir spin it opposite ways.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's a really good partnership for spinning pitches or like
Yeah, 100%. Like he's not going to go out the
yeah,
frame, is he? He's going to be there when they travel, go to India or
yeah.
Sri Lanka or whatever or Bangladesh. So, um, but I mean, somehow I think we have stumbled into the Rayan Ahmed era, which is pretty fun. I think probably should have started at Lords anyway, considering the pitch that he would have offered more of the batting as well, especially when which would probably be needed. Are you excited for a Rayan Ahmed frontline spinner era?
Almost as excited as I am for Jofra Arthur's reign of terror as captain.
Make him vice captain. No, Brooke is still vice captain. Um, so yeah, we'll obviously be Archer back in. Obviously missed the first test, and I love that there was speculation to be like, how's Archer going to get into the team when you've got Atkinson, Tongue, and and Robinson doing so well? So that's an easy problem to fix. Um, so Robinson, Archer, Tongue, and then probably Sonny Baker, or Matt Fisher, I guess. Sorry, Matt Fisher. Um, which I think is a pretty good lineup, and I think it
Yeah,
gives a good opportunity. Again, when you're trying to deflect all this nonsense, I think going with someone like Rayan Ahmed, which is an exciting pick, which I think a lot of people like, getting Jofra in, which is always good, and then going for a new thing like bringing Sonny Baker in, I think people be like, "Oh, it's a new bowler. That's an exciting thing to look at." And then root captain. So I think that is the way they all go. I think I can't see how they wouldn't do anything different.
yeah, and it's like you said, it's an exciting thing. Just as without everything else going on, it's just nice to see new players
Yeah,
come in and a little bit of a shake up with the team.
yeah, for sure. I don't really understand the other picks they brought in. Like, I don't really understand why Jordan Cox got called up. I don't think he's played a first class game in a little while. Um, but James Rue is already the spare batter, so I don't understand why you've dropped Stokes and Atkinson and brought in only one bowler, and then you brought in another batter. I don't understand. So
I don't know. Squad selection over multiple forms of England sports teams seems to be a bit weird currently. So I don't.
yeah, so that confused me, but I don't think Atkinson's not going to play. I don't think Rue or Cox will play, but you never know. It's Root as captain. Maybe he wants to go batting heavy. Um, but no, back to Root. I think it would be nice if Root, if it's only these 2 tests, and if he can win, one at least and win the series, I think that'd be quite a nice way for him to actually sign off his England captaincy rather than the miserable toil that we first watched when we first started the podcast with Rooting Nations. It'd be nice for him to finish on a good high note in England as well. I know it's not all about personal stuff and individual things, but I think for Root, for such a servant of the game and as a long-standing captain, where when England were even worse than this on the field, when he was literally carrying the team. And I think what wasn't it at a point when extras was the second highest scorer, I think, for England? I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, we were also very happy conceding extras
Yeah,
as well. That was
it
very
was a
often
bad
like the
time.
sixth highest scorer
Yeah,
for the opposition team.
yeah. Um, so I think it'll be really nice if he can come in and do well, and maybe he will do it over the summer. Like I think there's also been stories about Stokes taking a break for mental health stuff and things like that, and who knows. So maybe it will be a Root summer. which is, I think, fine. Um, just for his record, in case you are interested, he's captained 64 tests. He's won 27 games, lost 26, and then drew 11. So, almost lost as many as he's won. Um, did you want to hear his team that he last captained?
I was just thinking, can I guess it? I don't
Do you want
think
to
I
try and?
can. I
You can
can
try and guess. They'll a clue.
a clue.
Not a single one of these players will be playing next week.
Cool. So Ben Stokes.
Yep. Yep.
Jimmy Broad.
No, this was the West
No.
Indies tour where they were dropped
Oh,
after the Ashes.
it's that
Yeah.
era. Oh, God. Then I really don't know. Johnny
March
Bairstow.
2022. We
Johnny
covered it on the
Bairstow. They
pod for some
love
reason.
Johnny
Sorry, Tom.
Bairstow. Johnny Bairstow.
I think you said Johnny Bairstow, right?
Yeah, and then your
Yeah.
sound cut out, and I was like, "What's going on here?" As Johnny Bairstow infiltrated the pub.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, Johnny Bairstow was one. So you got, Root, Stokes, Bairstow.
God, I mean Crawley, because
Yep. Yep, Crawley.
what's this is weird because this is like 4 years ago.
We covered this when we started the pod. It's this weird limbo series
Yeah, exactly.
when they lost the Ashes badly, and then just before Stokes started. So it's this weird series that no one cared about or remembered.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. No one
Hmm.
remembers it,
It's fun.
and
It's
that's for people that follow cricket, and
yeah.
then there's
I'll
me
I'll give you what you've
guessing
got
on
in the
bums.
batting lineup so far. So Crawley is one of your openers.
Here he is. Yeah.
Root batted at 3. Stokes was at 5. Bairstow at 6, and Bairstow, a little clue, didn't keep.
So Joss,
No.
folks.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
5.
Was this too early for Duckett? I think it was.
Yeah.
But who was opening before then? It wasn't
So it's before
like.
Duckett and after Hamid and Burns.
But then, uh, bowlers.
Yep.
Mark Wood.
Hold on.
Or was this just one of those games that he was injured for?
He didn't play in this one.
Cool.
He's probably injured. Yeah.
Um,
It's
because there's going to be some weird players in there that just played for this
Yeah.
series and never came back.
Yeah.
Sakib Mahmood.
Yes. He
Sick.
batted at 11. Yeah. Should be playing more, to be honest.
Chris Wokes.
Yes.
Oh God, who even thinks of this game?
Yeah, you got 2 batters and 2 bowlers.
Yeah, it's not happening.
One's a spinner.
Yeah, I I could think that much through. But
You got to know the spinner. You'll get a spinner. You'll know that.
Moeen Ali.
No.
Um. Oh, it's name not coming to me, but person has.
Yes.
What's his name? John Bess?
No.
Fuck. Oh,
You'd know him. He's
I
cult
would know
hero
him.
esque.
Cult hero-esque, so I immediately went to Stephen Parry, and I know that's wrong.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Imagine if it's Stephen Parry.
Cult-esque.
But
But
also
it's
the
cult-esque
same.
between us, I'm assuming.
No,
Not
I think amongst everyone, but not necessarily for his bowling.
Joe Leach? Joe Leach? Jack Leach?
Jack Leach. You're right. Yeah, there we go. They're not. Do you want to try for the last 3 or give up?
I want to give up.
Okay,
'cause
right.
this
So
is
the opening
painful.
batter would have been Alex Lees.
Oh, yeah, he was around, yeah.
Batting at 4 for some reason was Dan Lawrence, who actually got a double hundred and 100 at the Oval today. So well done. And your final bowler would have been Craig Overton.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get those.
So a bizarre old team, a very boring old team. So I think it'd be a lot more, an exciting team for Root to now captain this time. So we'll see how it goes. What a stupid time. But good for Root. I mean, I've not got much else about this drama. There's nothing else has broken whilst we've been recording. Any other thoughts?
kind of sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, I think that also covers a city point as well because that was the most silliest of points. And the funny thing about it, I think you just could not. I don't think anyone would be able to properly predict that. I feel like you just got to the era being like, we're gonna just clean slate and start again. I just can't believe it took 4 days. But
It
anyway,
also feels kind of scripted
it
as well.
does a
It
bit.
feels like this would happen in a film.
Yeah,
This would be like the midpoint where, oh,
it's
this is Ben Stokes' lowest point. How will he come back from this? But in the
yeah,
film, he does come back from this and he wins the Ashes for England.
yeah. You can imagine
But
that'd
in
be.
real life, I don't think
No,
so.
he's not gonna go. It's with England cricket. It's that kind of Conte meme, isn't it? Where it's like one normal day of Premier League is
Oh
all I
yeah.
ask for. It's one normal day of England cricket. That's all I ask for. Like you have the win and it's so nice, and then suddenly 12 hours later, it's like ECB statement. It's like, um. So yeah, a lot of fun. That's the title of the pod, that isn't it? But yeah, I think that's it. Have
Cool.
you got a fun not crick? You did warn me earlier that it's going to be a long not
Yeah,
crick.
I'll try and keep it concise and
Okay.
brief and have
Yeah,
you jump in whenever you want.
I'm
But
ready.
like seeing as we've had a really let's call it depressing pod so far, I thought on the eve of the FIFA World Cup that
Oh
I
yeah.
would look back at all the fucking absurdities that have happened around fans being denied visas and players being held at airports
It's
for
mad,
the
isn't it?
World Cup. It is quite bad. So I'm just going to run through. I'm going to try
Yeah.
and keep it to the headlines because there's a fucking lot just going on.
Yeah.
So, starting at the prices, in the group stages for Qatar,
Mm.
the group stages match were ranged from $11 to 220, which
Nice.
is fine.
Yeah.
For this World Cup,
Yeah.
the you are ranging from 100 to $575.
570. I mean, I know they've
That's
been mental,
yeah,
but like,
that's group stages. We're coming on to the final. The lowest category 4, I think it is,
yeah.
for tickets for the Qatar World Cup final was $206. For the United States, Canada, Mexico,
Yeah.
the lowest fee you will pay for the World Cup final is $2,030.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Absolutely insane.
And we go on to the England New Zealand match, which was funny, as you pointed out
Yeah.
in a group message, that it's the first time the cricket team and the football teams have both played
Pay at the
the
same
same.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. The drinks at that game were insane. This is in like 30 plus degrees of heat,
Yeah.
where fans are not permitted to bring refillable water bottles in. You had non alcoholic beer at $10. So if you want alcohol, you've got to spend another $6+
Great.
to get drunk. Yeah, great.
Brilliant.
The cheapest water was priced was $7.50.
It's insane. I don't know if you're going to have this point, but I did see earlier a news article about the train tickets
Oh, I've not seen anything about train tickets, but I
from
assume they're also fucking
yeah, so
mental.
from New York to the New York Stadium, I think the ballpark figure I'm pretty sure are now costing people £150 to get there and back. For a normal journey that I think was, maybe like $7, $20, and now being charged 150 if you're going to the game. So that's cool.
Yeah, and like having been to Japan where their train service is really good and really cheap, everything train related that is not Japanese trains,
Yeah.
it just sounds so much worse.
Yeah, yeah. I just generally it's absolutely mad. Um
Yeah. Um, Next on the list,
mm,
Somali referee Omar Abdul Kadir Artan was
yeah,
chosen
so
by FIFA as one of the African referees.
yep.
One of, I think he's considered the best African referee.
Mhm.
He's been denied entry to the United States. Um, he was quoted saying, as I'm just simply a referee who's trying to live his dream, the biggest dream of my life, to come to the World Cup. I had the right papers and everything. I had the right visa. And this will be a recurring theme
I
with
think so.
people who are denied entry and just not being told why as well.
Yeah.
There's
It's
a
grim.
small, yeah, there's a small thing where I think a Canadian governor or a Canadian embassy worker has said, we'll try and get him over to Canada or something.
Yeah.
But this is also a major headache for FIFA
Yeah.
because they had a referee down to do matches for their
Yeah.
big World Cup, and now they've got to figure out who's going to replace him because he's not doing it anymore.
Jesus.
Iraq. Iraqi striker Ayman Hussein was held for 7 hours at Chicago airport,
Of course he
along with
was.
other players like Mirdes Doski, Yusuf Amin, Ibrahim Bayesh, Fahad Talib, Said Tashin, Hussein Ali, and Zidane Iqbal. Zidane Iqbal's a former Manchester United player, academy product.
Yeah.
So, but every player for the Iraq national team was permitted entry. However, the national team photographer Talal Salah was held for more than 10 hours. He underwent phone checks and denied entry into the United States.
Goodness sake.
And it keeps on going.
Hopefully it's an utter car crash.
I'm hoping it's the worst World Cup we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I hope every single match in Mexico and Canada, because weirdly, there's been no news about this kind of
Yeah.
bullshit happening in those countries.
Shock. Who could have possibly predicted?
But for some reason, the United States is being run by a more deranged group than Arsenal fans,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a big ask. And actually,
Yeah.
that's really harsh on Arsenal fans. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to Arsenal fans because
Yeah.
this is proper serious and
Yeah.
absurd and
Yeah.
mental. There's no way an Arsenal fan would run the FIFA World Cup this bad, or America
Yeah.
this poorly.
I feel like anyone could do it better.
Yeah, fans have been denied visas as well. Morocco
Brilliant.
fans have been denied. They were. I can't find it now, but like 40 of 42 applicants from cities including Casablanca, Marrakesh, Fez, and Tetun were refused visas without
Cool.
explanation. And obviously, they'd have bought tickets.
Of course they would. And they would have spent a fortune.
Yep, and accommodation.
Yep.
This has also happened to Scottish football fans. So America are really not discriminating
No.
anymore. They're just saying, fuck everyone.
Yep. Brilliant.
And
But
again,
if you do get through, have you got a loan?
yeah, if you do get through, ICE are ready for you.
Gosh sake.
Yeah, one Scottish fan said they'd spent £8,000 on travel and accommodation.
It's just not worth it. Jesus, is it? I mean, I know Scotland and it's a big deal, but goodness me.
I know. The White House announced plans in December to include social media checks in the authorization process, leading to speculation this could be behind the revocations of fans not being allowed entry. And this is all being done via ESTA, which is their like immigration check kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Morocco and Scotland are in the same group. So there is a very real potential that match will have like a half-empty stadium.
Yeah.
Which is
brilliant.
Great look for FIFA and
fantastic.
US. Great, yeah.
And all the pitches rubbish as well.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that. Yeah. Love it.
Apparently, the First Minister of Scotland, John Swinney, is trying to like reverse some of these decisions and get the fans out there in time for their first match, which is on the 14th of June.
Yeah.
But that is 4 days
That's 4 days away.
And the news, this is from Yahoo News, and it was also reported by BBC. This was on the 9th, so yesterday.
Mm-hmm. God, what a depressing state of affairs.
Yeah,
what's the first game?
The first game is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK time. Mexico
Hell yeah.
versus, I want to say Tunisia, but I'm not 100% sure.
Going to be the best World Cup ever.
You fucking bet. And we're not even done. Because there is a country that America are... I want to word this properly. That America are at war with.
Sure.
Not the other way round is what. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, Iran were issued visas and approved on the 5th of June for their players and some of the staff, but the Iranian state media and diplomats reported that the same day several of the team's support staff had been left out, including the Iranian Football Federation chief, Mehdi Taj. So their big boss is not allowed to play.
Fantastic.
Um, and there's a lot of stuff here that I'm going to skip over, but the takeaway is it's proper bullshit.
Yeah.
Um,
Proper bad.
yeah. Where are we? There's one quite interesting thing about this. Just making noise until I can find it. Um, so Iran, for under condition of their visas being approved, they have to enter and exit the United States on the same day. So when they have a match in the US, they have to travel from Mexico,
Yeah.
Tijuana, uh, where they're being based. They have to travel into US in the morning, and then play the match, then travel straight back out to Mexico.
Brilliant.
Guess how many games in their group are in the United States?
Guess all of them.
Yep, all of them.
Fantastic.
FIFA also has to have his. There's a rule where the head coach has to do a press conference at the stadium the day before the match. So he's going to have to fly into the US, do the press conference, fly out of the US, fly back into the US the following morning to only fly back out of the US. And he's going to
Goodness
have to do
sake.
that 3 times.
Brilliant. And we thought cricket was fun with the whole India-Pakistan.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
blimey
going to say when Iran arrived in Tijuana, they were all wearing pens. They might have been wearing pens,
Could have been.
but I've just mispronounced pins. They were wearing pins on their clothing bearing the number 168 in memory of the 168 girls who died in the American bombing of the Minar School on February 28th.
Yeah.
There's a fun little thing that can occur if Iran and USA both finish second in their groups. They'll play each other in a knockout match on the 3rd of July, which would be really funny if Iran end up winning the day before Independence Day.
That would be pretty cool.
Which would be proper sick. And the final thing is less depressing.
That's good.
Still, yeah.
Big up the World Cup.
Yeah, big up the World Cup. I'll send you an image so that you can see. But also, going back to the England-New Zealand match, on the stadium scorecard, the England team was not necessarily named properly.
Brilliant. I like Ollie Kane.
Yeah, Ollie. Stupid. So they've got Jordan Pickford, right? Great.
Yeah.
John Concert, wrong. Mark O'Reilly, no. Number 9, Harry.
Harry.
Just Harry.
Yeah.
We've got Marcus Stones, number 11. Number 14, Jordan Gahey. 16, Cobby, just Cobby.
Just Cobb.
Yep.
The Cobb.
17, Morgan Anderson. 19, Ollie Kane. 25, Jed Bellingham. 26, Jarell Rashford.
Fantastic.
So if you thought, like, all of this bullshit with visas is gonna not affect the actual performances of players or even people just working the scorecards, you'd be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that level of competency either. They're just
brilliant. I mean, what a great decision to give it to the US of A.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
And again, this is just the US.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
read or heard nothing.
Nothing
from
Mexico
and
Canada. Absolutely not.
Being
Because why would you? Because they're competent.
That's the thing. They're not doing anything particularly special. They're
just doing the bare minimum.
And, yeah, they're getting good PR from just doing what they should be doing.
Goodness sake. Oh, love to see it.
Yeah.
So it begins tomorrow. So we'll be doing a live reaction pod to the first episode.
Who do you think's going to win? I don't want to end the pod that's already been so, like, down.
I don't know, Germany.
All right, sure.
Who do you think?
I think Spain have a very good squad. I think Portugal have a very good squad, but they have one big problem in that they have to play a certain player up front. even though he's probably not good enough to play anymore.
Two.
Um, England have a good starting 11, but I think
But do you
Thomas
think it's the classic kind of
Tuchel's.
England case? They'll get to like semis or something, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I think they'll get quarters and then
Mm.
knocked out. I think their issue is the squad is just mental. John
Mm.
Stones has played like 9 games this whole season.
Yeah.
Jed Spence, who's been playing for Tottenham, who narrowly avoided relegation, has been picked because he can play right back and left back.
Yep.
Jordan Henderson, who's 500 years old, has been picked.
Yeah.
Um, I could go on. I think Dan Burns is overrated.
Yeah.
He's just because he's a bit tall. Like England think they can use him for set pieces and probably can, but there's going to be a moment when they're like, "Fuck, I wish Harry Maguire was here."
Yeah, I don't understand why Harry Maguire's not there from my limited knowledge. I feel like just so much is reliant on, I'd say, Harry Kane. I know that's a very basic, obvious thing to say, but given his record this year, and I guess, is it the lack of attacking, I'd say, that England probably have? Or lack of, like,
I,
in form attacking?
I wouldn't even say in form. Well, like Rashford has had a really good season
Hmm.
in terms of goals and assists for Barcelona.
Yeah.
So in terms of form, he seems to be pretty good. But I think Gordon will start over him.
Yeah.
So like Anthony Gordon's being preferred over Marcus Rashford for Barcelona and England, which
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just
Funny.
yeah, maybe run a bit more on the pitch, Marcus. But in football, the spine of the team is very important. So you want to
Yeah.
build as strong as you can, and I think England do have a good spine up to a point. It's like Kane, Bellingham, Rice. In my opinion, Kobe Mainu
Yeah.
should be playing, but Elliot Anderson's had a fantastic season, so that I think that's
Got
pretty
options.
good. Yeah, I think centre backs are where they're a bit more iffy if they're playing Ezri Konsa, Mark Gay. Again, I think this would have been really good if they had a experienced
Harry
footballer who's
Maguire.
played well for England before and has
And has always played well
got a
for England,
good
I
head.
feel.
Yeah, exactly.
When
He's
has he
always
not
played
played
well
well
for
for England?
England. He's a threat from set pieces. He's scored probably the best ever penalty an
Yeah.
England player has scored in a Euros final. So,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think on the wings they're probably the weakest.
Yeah.
Um, I can't even think who is at fullback. I just keep thinking of Jed Spence and Dan Burns at left back, and
Got to start Spence then.
I yeah. I mean, I wasn't watching Spurs a lot throughout the season for my own mental health, and like I don't think anyone should have been watching Spurs just to like not fall
Yeah.
that deep into insanity.
Yeah.
I think you should have been watching and laughing from afar. So I don't know how well Spencer's actually done, but I
Sure.
do think it's insane that he's been selected over players like Lewis Hall,
Yeah. I
who
mean, if
is
it
an actual left back, and I believe he came through as a midfielder at Chelsea's academy.
yeah, I
So
think so.
he's like a competent player.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like Spence, from my vague Spurs knowledge, isn't necessarily always a Spurs starter anyway, because you've got Udogie and um, Porro who would start over him.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he's probably been a starter at Spurs this past season because everyone's been fucking
yeah,
injured.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And he's also always. I think by the end he was playing on like the right wing and stuff as well, because they didn't have anyone who could play there and things like that. So he's that kind of like player I think they just chucked in. I think he started the season really, really well, but then I think kind of fell away because I think probably because he was overworked. um, but oh well, fun times. Harry Kane, Golden Boot. Go on,
Hey, maybe
yeah, we'll
players have
see.
won the Golden Boot without winning the World Cup before.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, that must have
yeah,
happened.
yeah, we'll see. Fun times. So yeah, I think next game's next Wednesday, isn't it? Our first England game is next Wednesday, I
I
think.
don't follow England.
So we
I'm not
will,
supporting it. I
if
am supporting Portugal.
nice. Well, since we're obviously now, I think, fallen into Wednesday after evening podcast, we'll do a live reaction to the World Cup so far in
And
everyone's
an
favourite
IPL
country,
special.
an IPL special, and the Women's T20 World Cup starts on Friday as well, and I guess Root's first day as England captain. Um, is that all not correct stuff? Nice.
That was even more than I was expecting to do.
That was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the fun discussion rolling. So that'd be nice. But yeah, if people want to weigh in on our fun pod, where can they find us?
Just not Chris Pod. Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, podcast places.
Very good.
I always feel like I'm forgetting one, but that's all
Probably.
you're getting.
Yeah. Just double checking before we sign off in case there's no crazy breaking news. No.
Mm.
We're good. Oval next week. Let's go. Route
Oval.
2.0. Yeah, we'll see you next week, I guess. Bye.